Graduates from the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Chandan Ulgan Desem, who explored the use of lead isotopic analysis to identify anthropogenic contamination in the environment. She developed new analytical approaches that produced the first soil lead isotopic map of the Australia continent. Her work will also aid in mineral exploration at large spatial scales. Dr. Chandan Ulgan Desem. Dr. Bao Bao Pan, who applied data mining and machine learning techniques to improve the capacity of process-based models in predicting nitrogen losses in terrestrial ecosystems regionally and globally. The study improves our understanding of the complex nitrogen cycle in terrestrial ecosystems and identifies management practices that increase food production while minimizing environmental degradation. Dr. Bao Bao Pan. Dr. Laura Dunstan, who examined the associations between Indigenous family life, children's health, and well-being in Australia. Using data from the longitudinal study of Indigenous children, she showed that extended family, cultural, and community relations provide health benefits. Her research underscores the importance of family strengths-based approaches to understanding Indigenous health inequalities. Dr. Laura Dunstan. Dr. Catherine Ann Pearn, who investigated middle-year students' solution strategies for fraction problems with the potential to prompt algebraic thinking. 2 frameworks for teachers were developed, one classifying student strategies as concrete, additive, or multiplicative, a second monitoring the extent of students' emerging algebraic reasoning when opportunities for generalized responses are prompted. Dr. Catherine Ann Pearn. Dr. Kelly Ann Picker, who examined teacher reading content knowledge and its impact on the teaching of reading. She found what and how reading is taught is moderated by a teacher's level of reading content knowledge. Her research has important implications for the teaching of reading and establishing minimum levels of reading content knowledge. Dr. Kelly Ann Picker. Dr. Bridget Ann Freeman, who has used mixed methods research to show how, while policy reforms in Australian education initiated 3 years ago, the Dawkins reforms were aimed at engendering greater diversity, they now display a high degree of isomorphism, especially in the domain of institutional policy, including policy governments and policy-making processes. Dr. Bridget Ann Freeman. Dr. Mahsa Rahimi, who studied the systematic effects from both the radio telescope and other sources of cosmic emission on the signal from the first stars in the universe. She developed techniques to reduce these effects and determine a new upper limit on size of the signal. Dr. Mahsa Rahimi. Dr. Linda Gaughan, who investigated teachers of early reading and the principles, practices, and priorities underpinning their instruction. Her study revealed the influence of reflective thought on practice, regardless of the principles and priorities teachers tacitly or consciously endorsed. The study has implications for system-wide and school-based leadership, professional development, and teacher support. Dr. Linda Gaughan. Dr. Catherine Leah Sr., who studied how bushfires and planned burning influence wildlife. She found that planned burns that retain unburnt patches of vegetation support higher biodiversity than areas burnt more uniformly. Her new techniques for mapping bushfires and biodiversity will inform when, where, and how planned burns are done in Victoria. Dr. Catherine Leas, Sr. Dr. Abdul Ghafar, who investigated the economic impact caused by ticks and tick-transmitted diseases on cattle and buffalo farms in Pakistan. Using new diagnostic and analytical methods, he characterized ticks and associated infections at the molecular level. Based on his research, he proposed novel integrated strategies for the control of these significant diseases. Dr. Abdul Ghafar.